This is an 8-inch LCD monitor. So it's billed as a security camera monitor. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $68. So it is 4:3 aspect ratio. It is 1024 by 768, so it's not super, HD resolution or anything. It's 8-inch diagonal, relatively small, lightweight. It has these 4 points here. There's also like a screw keyhole. You can mount it to the wall. And it has a large number of inputs. So it's DC powered. It has a VGA input, an HDMI input. We have standard video, and then they have this VR-VL. I'll have to look at it a little more, but I believe it's video and audio left and right. There's a USB port. I don't know if it does any input with that or if that's just for programming or upgrading firmware. And then there's a BNC connector as well. So you have lots of inputs to choose from here. Right, so accessories that come with it, we have this little mounting plate. It has here, it looks like double-sided sticky. You can stick this down to something. There's also holes so you could screw it into something. It has this guy here with a kind of click it, position it in any particular position, and then latch it in place. And I'm assuming this guy here is what's designed to slide into this place back here. It looks like they have a square captive nut that you're supposed to take out and put the nut behind that plate, or maybe just slide it down onto the plate and then tighten it in place. So it comes with a little mount that could be wall mounted and tilted back up like this. Could be desk mounted and tilted, and it also comes with a 12-volt power supply, 110 volts, 120 volts. It's a universal 110, 240 volt power supply. It says it's 0.3 amps. Its output is 12 volts at 1 amp, so 10 to 12 watt draw here. So this guy has an AV1, AV2 switch, kind of a menu plus minus power button. There is a little indicator. I'm not sure if that's a light or an infrared sensor. There's no infrared remote that comes with it. So the monitor by itself weighs just under 1 pound. It's like 15.7 ounces. The little base here doesn't add too much. It's like 3 extra ounces. And the power supply is probably another 3 ounces. The manual has S801H on it. It's a TFT color LCD monitor. Alright, so the brightness is 250 CD/something, contrast is 401, 12 millisecond response time. Operating temperature says 0 to 40 centigrade. So on the back they have 75 millimeter by 75 millimeter, the 4 mounting holes here. They also have this slot, which I believe you can slide this nut into on their provided mount, and then you can tighten that up. And so it can use this provided mount here. Now, with the provided mount, if it's on a desk, because of how the mount is, it really can't go any farther than that unless it's like overhanging the desk. So from kind of a desk mount perspective, it's about a 45-degree angle. Now on a wall mount, you can mount it flat to the wall and tilt it up or down a little bit. Now if you were to flip the screen upside down, this gets a little closer to the base, so it's not perfectly vertical, but you could mount it like this and have it not be at a full 45-degree angle. All right, there's a 4-foot cord on the power supply here, so you either have to be pretty close to power or an extension cord. The AV-AV1 switch basically just switches between the different inputs. So there's BNC, and you can cycle through the VGA and the HDMI and a couple of different other options. There's a power button. You can turn it off, you can turn it on. And then the menu here lets you adjust the brightness, contrast, saturation. So if you go to the menu, you hit the power button, it flips through some sub-menus. There's a reset. They have a display ratio here that says 16:9, although I believe it's a 4:3 screen. There's a volume where you can change the volume on it. It does seem to have 2 speaker holes on the back here. I'm testing this with an HDMI cable. Alright, we're going to plug this into a Linux computer and watch the logging. It's recognizing something. And we have a secondary display pop up. According to this, it's an RTK 32-inch, and it's 1280 by 720. So that's different from 1024 by 768, but it is showing my display here. The display ratio 16 by 9. We're going to change that to 4 by 3. See if anything happens. Definitely looking squished. Might have to unplug it and plug it in again. Alright, unplugged it and plugged it in again. It's still looking squished. It's reporting as a 1920 by 1080, but as you can see, it's obviously not displaying correctly. So I'm going to change this to 1024 by 768 4 by 3 and apply that. Alright, so that's obviously not working in the 4 by 3 setting. Let me change it to 1024 by 768 native here. There's a distinct click noise when that happens. It's not showing up correctly. So I think I'm just going to change it back to 16 by 9 in the settings here. Alright, at the 16 by 9 setting on the monitor, everything looks good and works. It's reporting as a 1080 by 720 here, although I suspect it might be downsampling to the native resolution of the LCD panel. Alright, so I can drag a display across and it works as an external monitor, albeit a small one. So running off of that guy connected via HDMI, we got a Raspberry Pi desktop showing up pretty well. So as a monitor for a little mini computer, it's acceptable but not great. It's reporting as a 1280 by 720. I'm pretty sure it's downsampling that to the native, 1024 by 768. So text is a little small. You can mostly read it. The brightness is okay. It's not great. The contrast is okay. It's not great. You can navigate around and do things with it. I wouldn't want to use this as a monitor all day, but if you have a little computer you need to set up, or you just want to display like some monitoring graphics or something, it's a good choice for that. It took a little bit of configuration to get the Raspberry Pi to export audio over HDMI, but once I did, audio comes through the speakers out the back. This is set to 20, the highest volume. So here's an example of just playing a surveillance video through this guy. This video is an HD video, and so it's being downsampled to the 4 by 3 aspect ratio and so forth, but it's pretty decent to see what's going on. You can see the colors of the cars, you can see the person in the car getting out. The detail's pretty reasonable here. So this is an example surveillance video. This happens to be an HD digital stream. I'm playing back on this, I think it's 1024 by 768 monitor. Pretty reasonable clarity. You can kind of recognize faces. So it's pretty reasonable for displaying a video camera feed. Okay, so pretty good option for indoor monitoring of security cameras, especially if you have BNC, RCA, if you need something to plug into an old VGA digital video recorder or something like that. Lots of different options. This little mounting bracket, you can bend these metal tabs to fit to a curved surface, so you could theoretically car mount this guy. I'm not sure that the screen is bright enough. You certainly can't use it like outdoors in the sun. It's just going to be washed out. Inside of a car, it might be fine, but if the sun was facing the wrong way coming in your windows, you might not be able to see very well. So I would really think that indoor usage is what's going to be best for this guy. So, if you needed high brightness outdoor viewing, you can buy screens that do that, but they cost like 3 times what this guy does. So I think it's really a trade-off of the price versus performance. It's a lower resolution, not the super brightest screen, not the super highest contrast screen. It's acceptable, and especially I think at this $70 price point, I think that's the real selling factor here, is that it's a 12-volt powered screen, lots of different input options. You can switch between them if you want to use it for multiple devices, and I think the $70 price point is the key feature of this device.